account every day.
Yeah, right.
I did not get the $5.
Yeah.
I got ghosted.
Is
and
that a ghost though? Because I feel like
it sort of is, because it implies that they were going to come back to me.
I
Yeah,
getcha.
that's fair.
I
That's
getcha.
fair.
And they never did. And I mean, how much is... Then I remember it was like 3 weeks later, I'm like, is this enough time? Like, how much time do you need?
Am I rude for them being like...
Can I get closure on this relationship?
I don't call that the ghost. I call that the cardboard cutout.
Yeah, right.
Because like in your eyes, they're still there, and then all of a sudden you walk up to it and you touch it, and it just
Balls
falls
over.
over.
God.
Yeah, that's it.
Nothing there.
Oh my
So
God.
I will say ghosting in all of that sense is horrible, because you need closure.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like, and to be fair, I was going to break up with her anyway. It was like,
you can't dump me, you're fired.
yeah, it was a bit of that scenario.
No, that's fair,
Right.
because it also leaves you in a limbo of like, well, should I be pursuing other options,
Yeah.
or if you're invested, I want to hang around and wait for them to come back
As
to
long as
me.
you weren't hurt by it. That's the thing.
Not really.
Is it like a
'Cause
pride
I said,
thing?
No,
Maybe,
it
like,
was more
slightly?
of like, release me.
Yeah, release me.
Release me from this thought in my head that you might come back,
Yeah.
just so I can dump you. But like, that's how
I've got the text written ready to go. I need to know if I should delete this text because I need a megabyte of space.
Like 3 weeks later, she comes like, "Yeah, I'm ready to go into the relationship." Nope, I'm out.
yeah, you'd be like, well, guess what? I'm done.
Well, yeah, who knows what would have happened? But she never
still.
came back to me.
Yeah.
She ghosted me, or cardboard cut it out of me.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we got to get a better. It's got to fluff the tongue a bit better.
I'm
that.
sorry. I just came up with
a
I like
good
the image.
analogy.
It's just got to fluff the tongue a bit better.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
that's
All right, anyway.
All right, so what do we want to say then for Maury Povich's...
No. This
not
is
Maury,
Gordon. This is Gordon.
Gordon
This is
Povich.
I guess what we're trying to say is you're a bad person for breaking the laptop.
Yeah.
It's very irresponsible of you, very immature of you.
I don't think she should feel bad for blocking the family.
No.
But she's basically trying to, like, she does sound a bit trashy by being like, she's destroyed his laptop. She's withholding his things because he
Yes.
sounds like he's trying to get it.
Yeah.
And now the family are being like, we just want to help get Kevin's stuff back.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, block.
Because she knows that if she goes, I broke his laptop,
Just,
it's like, yeah,
I mean, who cares? Just let him get his stuff back, whatever it is, whatever state it's in, let him have it.
Yeah.
And then
Broke
that's it.
my heart.
I'm
So I broke his laptop.
MacBook Pro. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you should just like let him take the stuff,
Yeah.
and then you don't need to worry about being contacted. And then you can keep them blocked.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna. That's all they want out of you. You know, they don't.
Yeah,
they don't care
exactly.
about whatever else you're doing.
Once you give them the stuff, that's it. They're out of your life forever.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Let's leave it there. What do you reckon for
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes,
All right,
Gordon's
that's
done.
Gordon's question. Now, Damien, who's the interview?
This is going to come from. So if I had to send the aliens in someone's way,
Yep.
originally I was thinking like, oh, I'll send them to a scientist or something, right? But I
Just
think,
so they can dissect them. And,
No, yeah, that's right. That could go wrong. But I thought go the other way. Somebody charismatic.
Okay.
They don't necessarily need to be smart or I'm thinking like a Jack Black.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
What's up, alien dudes?
Dudes. I feel like he's a song and dance man. He's funny.
Yeah.
I just think you need somebody who's going to,
wow them.
charm them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And then
Jack Black could do it.
And then they're kind of like, well, this guy's pretty chill. And if he's the ambassador of all
Yeah,
humans,
yeah.
there's probably some other good ones out there.
Some, not
I
all.
like that. It's like trying to give them signed copies of Kung Fu Panda. Dude, you're gonna love it.
Skadoosh.
He just needs to put on,
Skadoosh.
just needs to put on School of Rock and,
Yeah, right.
and you'll be good.
He's gonna make a band of aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
All right. So Jack Black writes in, look, this is actually from a woman. Jacqueline Black.
Jacqueline
Let's
Black.
call it that.
Dudettes.
This is kind of a long question. I try to cut out as much as I could.
That's good.
So please bear with me. Should I be mad at my girlfriend for lying about having a pet kangaroo? My girlfriend met my parents for the first time last night. We're staying a few days. My parents are excited because my girlfriend is Australian and we're American.
G'day.
They were so excited they cooked meat pies for dinner on our first night.
Yeah, good stuff.
I completely forgot to tell them my girlfriend is vegetarian.
Oh,
My parents looked devastated, so my girlfriend intervened and said I was joking. Privately, I asked her what she was doing, and she said she didn't mind eating meat for one night.
that's nice.
She was also drinking, which she never does. We get to the end of the night, and she tells this detailed story about her pet kangaroo. She even had a photo with one. Later, we went to bed, and I asked her about it, and she kind of laughed and said, sorry, I was pissed, and passed out. The next day, I asked her about it, and she said there was no kangaroo. She said she drinks when she's stressed, and she found it funny to go along with the Australian thing in the moment. The pic was of her and a random kangaroo she saw at a zoo. I didn't like that she lied to my parents, but figured it was a one-off, so whatever. Through lunch that day, the Australian thing came up a lot. My parents ate up every story she told, but I'm pretty sure it was all BS. Things like Akubra hats, the desert, whips, all very stereotypical Australian stuff. The next day I asked her about it, and yeah, she said it was all BS. I was mad. She says it's stressful to meet parents and I should be more supportive, but she keeps lying to my parents. I'm furious and want her to come clean, but she thinks it's not a big deal. Who's right here?
I feel like it's a rite of passage as an Australian going over to America to say,
Yeah, we have pet kangaroos.
we have pet kangaroos.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's one of those things to be like, oh, you're from. People will ask that.
Yeah.
You're from Australia. You got a pet kangaroo.
Usually you're right. It comes from them usually, and you're just like, yeah.
Sure.
I mean, let's see how much I can lie to like bullshit them as much as I can. Like, let's see how far I can go, and then maybe eventually I'll come out with the truth.
She definitely has the larrikin nature of an Australian.
100%.
So, which is like,
So you've caught yourself a real Australian, none of those fake ones from like New Zealand, all right? So
From New Zealand.
yeah, you know the type. They've kind of got our flag, but kind of don't.
You mean New Zealanders are people who hate being mistaken for Australians? Those people?
those ones.
Yeah,
those
right.
ones. Unlike Russell Crowe, he's purely Australian, guys. It's all right.
No, we disowned him after he threw a phone at somebody's head. We don't want
Then
him.
he was New Zealand.
Nobody wants bloody Mel Gibson or Russell Crowe. They're floating in the Tasman in between. We don't want them.
Yeah.
Neither do New Zealand.
We'll take like the Margot Robbies. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We've got a
yeah.
new breed of Australian actors.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I mean, you can sort of say, like, you can embellish the truth about like Australia and how you live, but I think we've got enough sort of shit like that is very Australian that you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Like, we do have like those scary fucking spiders, right?
Yes.
Like often you'll just be in your house and there'll be a massive spider.
Yeah.
And people will say, when I see things like huntsmen's on like Reddit and stuff, people are just like, I'd fucking burn the car right down. It's just like, that's just like a commonplace to have
Yeah.
a big huntsman spider.
Yeah.
I remember in our cars, like plenty of times we were driving and you just see this big huntsman walk across your car windscreen. Like it's not that common, but it happens.
It happens. Like, even to the point, right, where like where I live, it's quite like it's a bit like luscious out and about. There's like fields and stuff like that. I was going for a run one day. I was running through the streets and there was a kangaroo just hopping down the street. He was just lost. Poor little hoppy dude was lost, hopping around the street. And I'm like, that is like so Australian.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen anywhere else.
Yeah.
But I guess the equivalent would in like Canada might be like a moose walking down the street.
Yeah.
Or a deer in
or a
bloody
bear.
Which is way worse, I guess, because kangaroo's just like confused. The bear's probably like hungry.
I mean, a kangaroo will still kick the shit out of you if you walk up to it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to
wouldn't
fight
want to
him.
fight with a bear or a kangaroo.
Yeah. But I mean, like, that's kind of cool. And like, you could sort of, you sort of feel like you're just like living in your normal life. And then you have moments like that where you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is Australia.
Yeah.
G'day.
I remember the first time I saw a red kangaroo in person.
Yep.
And like, I actually got like, I felt embarrassed about the shape of my body.
Oh,
Because
right,
this thing was
right.
just
It's
jacked.
jacked.
I was
They're
like,
ripped.
Jesus
They're
Christ.
ripped.
I was going for a run and I'm like, I'll never be as fit as him.
Yeah, right. So I was like, I knew kangaroo.
He's like, sup, dude. Yeah.
I knew kangaroo meat was lean, but god damn, you look good, man.
They're all muscle, man.
What's your routine, bro?
What do you bench, bro? Okay.
On its feet, it benches like
Yeah.
300.
No joke, I then saw the kangaroo open up his pouch, pour protein in there, and
Yeah.
then jump up and down. He was making a
out.
shake in his bloody pouch.
You know what? Okay, speaking about like things that are very Australian, people asking you like, oh, are you just like, do you have pet kangaroos and stuff like that? Do you feel like there's any equivalent with any other culture? Like with any other, like I feel like with still, let's just say for American, right?
Yeah.
If you're talking to American, I feel like the gun thing is like a big thing, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm curious to be like, what's the deal with your guns? Like, why do you have so many guns?
Yeah.
And like, what's your opinion on it?
Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah.
almost like, I want to like ask a person that I'm like, oh, you seem like a pretty level-headed person. What's your opinion on the guns?
Yeah.
Just like, it's one of those things to be like, that's it. We have kangaroos and you've got gungaroos. And we've got dunkaroos too.
Yeah,
They're really good.
Dunkaroos are delicious.
Yeah, right.
I feel like it always strikes me as odd, like listening to American podcasts, for example. Obviously, with American speakers, some of them are like really pro gun, and some of them are not. And I'm like, oh, I would never have thought of that person as pro gun.
Yeah, they're like, I've got
Like,
it. Yeah, it's like
I've
someone
got a
talking and be
gun
like, yeah, I've got a gun. It's like,
Yeah.
but you, why? Why do you have a gun for?
It's just like I needed the
my right
protection
as an American to have
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
that's it. And I always find that odd. But you're right, Americans and their guns.
Yeah.
The American one for me that I always had preconceived notions about, and I guess it's because of movies, was fraternities.
Oh, yeah.
Like frat houses,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Is it so commonplace or is it?
Yeah, I thought it was a commonplace thing, and kind of like not a rite of passage, but a lot of people were in frat houses and
Yeah.
stuff. And then whenever I've spoken to American people, like, what are you talking about, man? Like,
Yeah.
hardly, and nobody I know is in a frat house. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
right.
it's like a rich person thing.
Yeah,
and I was
okay.
like, oh, okay,
So
fair
it's
enough.
like an elite. It's like a really elite.
We know from
thing.
movies, and that's
yeah,
it.
I guess that's kind of maybe
frats
that's
and sororities.
it's
Yeah.
an easy thing to kind of like parody. It's probably why it's in a lot of American
Maybe that's
movies.
why it's just like no one's offended by it because
and the rich people are in it. And,
the rich people are in it. It's just like everyone can make fun of the rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking about the whole cultural expectation thing, right? I think you hear like, You hear Canada, you think poutine, you're right?
yeah,
You think about, you hear country names. And
nice people.
yeah, or you hear like the Netherlands, you think of clogs. Like there's things that you think in your head straight away.
Mine's like
I think of
windows.
Wait, there you go. Well, that's a good...
bicycles.
Really, I should have said, you think of France, what do you think of, Tom?
Croissant.
And what do you think of, Marcus?
I think of croissants. Yeah.
Okay, well, you could have thought of something else. Anyway,
Eiffel Tower, why not?
my point is proven.
They've got so many Eiffel Towers over there.
What I'm trying to say is, I think
Generalizing.
with every like country, there are cultural expectations,
Yeah.
which this girlfriend's parents clearly had.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think your girlfriend, they're a lesbian couple, by the way. That was part of it. She is just doing what her parents were hoping they were going to get.
She's
right?
selling the dream.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure, it's a little bit naive and even a little bit racist that her parents are like, we made you meat pies.
Yeah, right.
You love
The
these.
food of your people.
Right?
Eat the meat pie.
Do you get what I'm like? It's in a way.
Nice. It's racist, but not in a
Yeah.
nice
I mean, I'm
way.
surprised I didn't even know.
I
Like,
don't even think it's racist.
is that what
or-
no, but if you Googled like what do Australians eat, would meat pies come up? Is that our thing?
I thought meat pies were
definitely,
British,
100%.
wasn't it?
It's a British thing, but I think it's part of our
We've
culture as
taken
well.
it, yeah.
When I say racist, I don't mean like. I mean it more in like a
Stereotype. It's still
yes.
stereotyping.
Yeah.
The reason I say is, I was speaking to my friend about this, who's Indian,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about like when we've gone to people's houses for dinner for the first time, a friend's house years ago.
Yep.
And he brought up how like he went to a friend's house who was Aussie, and his mum had made curry for dinner, and he was like, in his head, he was like, did she make that just because like she knew I was Indian and I was coming over? And we were talking, and I'm like, that's a good point. Like if I went over to somebody's house and all of a sudden it was like mortadella sandwiches and like, we have quinoto for you to drink, Damien. It's like,
Like, how do I open this?
Not even the good kind.
They don't even know how to open. Like,
Yeah.
is it a twist top? Is it a pop top? It's like you've never had this before.
I think it's more naive. You think you're probably just being a good host, but right. I think the heart's in the right place with that stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're doing the right thing. I mean, she's sort of like I said, she's been the larrikin.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to sort of also be like, nah, I'm kidding. Like,
She has to say that I'm kidding. Yeah.
And I think not everyone's going to pick up on that. And I think maybe she was expecting her to pick up on it, or she was saying that she was drunk and she was like,
She's just playing along.
I was having a laugh. Just having a laugh.
It's the equivalent of like if someone says, "Hey, Damien, Superman's coming over for dinner."
Yep.
You're going to expect him to lift a building. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
fly
right.
around the planet a couple times.
Yeah.
You have expectations. So I think she was just trying to be a good partner and get along with your parents.
If Superman came over, I'd serve him raw food. I'm like, cook it with your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. right.
See, that's one of your expectations. Laser eyes.
This ain't
laser
Korean
eyes.
barbecue.
Yeah.
Like, we expect
Yeah,
this cooked
exactly.
myself.
Or, here's a creme brulee. Just cook the top. Like,
It's oh,
crisp the top.
I actually forgot to do this. Can you actually go back in time and get this for me before the party?
And bring it in. Yeah.
He's like, I got to work tonight. Well, you know what? One stereotype, well, not stereotype, but like, what do you call it? It's stereotype of like
Stereotype,
people
yeah.
when they talk about Australians.
It's
like,
a stereotype. Yeah.
like, oh, Australia, they're all so beautiful. I think like people thinking like Australians are like because they see the Chris Hemsworths, they see the Margot Robbies, and they're just like, my God, Australians are just like crafted out of
The
like
bronze body surfers.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
the Summer Bay, people. But it's
Nothing
not
like
like
that.
that.
Nothing like that.
We're just people like everybody else,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
But I love that people are just like, oh yeah, there's all hotties in Australia.
Yeah.
Male or female. If you're Australian, you're hot.
Well, we are.
Yeah. maybe.
Let them think that. This is an audio medium.
Nah, we're having a laugh. We're having a laugh.
We're all really sexy.
Yeah, right.
And during this whole podcast, we've all been planking because we're all really
right,
fit
right.
and
Yeah, we could all do that.
We're all
Yeah.
shredded.
We better go because we've got to grease up our abs now as well. Okay, so what do we want to say then?
It was funny to see the disconnect in the comments for this
Right.
question.
Okay.
Because there was clearly Americans and Australians answering this. And I think that we can tie this into answering this question.
Love it.
All the Americans were like, oh, your girlfriend's a pathological liar. She's
Oh,
lying to your
yeah.
parents' face,
Right.
etc., etc. Where all the Aussies are like, unfortunately, this is part of our culture. We
Yeah, right.
bullshit to people
Yeah.
about our culture.
Yeah, right.
We're
It's
young-
not for any personal gain at all.
We're a young country.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot to talk about
Yeah.
other than the horrible shit that
Yeah,
happened
right.
years ago.
There's a lot we can't talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
So let us have a laugh about
Let
this.
us have our kangaroo pets.
Yeah. So all the Aussies are like, she's a keeper.
Yeah.
She's a bit of a larrikin. It's fine.
Yep.
I've done it when I've gone to Japan and stuff when, they've spoken to me. Oh, all right. So you've got this, you got that. You just play it up because it's a bit of fun, right?
Yeah.
I'm for it.
As long as she doesn't like become Paul Hogan for the rest of your relationship and
Pulling
she
up
never
bowling
tells
arms.
him a legitimate story.
Yeah. Maybe she's rocking up in like a
Yeah.
Cobra hats and stuff like that.
I feel like what she could always do is say to your parents, look, I'm sorry. Those were all lies.
Yeah.
Like they were all for a bit of a laugh. I know I didn't realize that I probably should have said
let
that.
down.
Yeah.
No, and if you get married later than track, it's a funny story to tell. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
They
Yeah.
thought I had a kangaroo as a pet.
Exactly.
Come all the way over. And
Yeah.
Where's
Where's Skippy?
Where's Skippy?
Yeah.
making the noises. Like,